Hello and welcome. It's 11 a.m. here in Seoul. I'm Ji-young at the Arirang News Center. We're breaking into our regular programming to give you the latest live briefing from the South Korean health authorities on the COVID-19 outbreak. In just a few moments, we'll cut into the briefing at the Seoul Government Complex with simultaneous interpretation in English. Yoon Tae-ho, the overall officer of disinfection at the Central Disaster Management Headquarters, will be briefing us on the coronavirus situation here in the country. The briefing will give us an update on the number of new infections as of midnight, as well as any trends and the latest on the vaccine campaign. Also, the latest social distancing measures and efforts that the government is making to contain the virus. To give you a brief idea as we wait, South Korea reported 677 new cases of COVID-19. Let's take a listen.
Let us now begin our regular briefing for June 2nd, Wednesday. Yesterday, we have had our quarantine measures meetings, and we have discussed measures to bolster and intensify our support for those who are suffering from psychological disorders due to COVID-19, which has been prolonged for the past year or so. And we believe that many people are going through psychological difficulties and mental difficulties as well. And during the month of March, we have carried out our studies on related aspects, and we have seen that there has been a dramatic increase by about 23% when it comes to the number of people who are suffering from mental disorders. And also, as for those people in the younger age group, in their 20s, and also female, and also those people who are working on the front lines are going through difficulties in terms of mental diseases. And to this end, we have been providing more abundant number of services aimed at these citizens and members of the society. And to this end, we will also intensify our support for psychological support for the high-risk group. And first, we will provide in parts in line with our youth support programs. We will also provide more psychological support for the youth as well as the country's female citizens. And we will also intensify our support for those who are fighting in the front lines. At the regional offices and regional centers, we will also carry out regular consultations, and we will also carry out remote consultations as well. And we will also have many other programs so that we can take use of these effects and programs and services going forward. And third, as for the patients and those who have been fully recovered from COVID-19, we will also intensify our psychological support. And we will also monitor the mental health conditions of the people who are isolated and going under treatment. And as for those who have already recovered from COVID-19, we will also provide such similar support on a continuous basis so that we can also monitor their mental conditions as well. And fourth, last but not least, we will also intensify our infrastructure aimed at intensifying our support for psychological means going forward. And we will also expand the number of trauma centers, which have been established at 2 places, and we will expand this by 5. And we will also have the visit psychological discussion sessions. And going forward, we will also look at the mental and psychological conditions of the people going forward. And at today's meeting, we have discussed the issues of the opening of the beaches here in South Korea, and also the reopening of the schools here in the country. And also, last year we have seen a significant drop in the number of people who have been using these beaches by about 6%. Nevertheless, we believe that this year will be different with the rollout of vaccinations. And to this end, the Ministry of Oceans and Fisheries, they will also have detailed guidelines. And first, we will also have these guidelines guidelines on these reservation of these beaches on the websites and portal websites. And we will also make sure that they abide by guidelines so that they can have restricted numbers of visitors at one time. And so if you are planning to visit these beaches during the summer holidays, we ask you to check the capacity in advance. And please book your visit in advance so that you could have a safe environment when you visit these places. And at these beaches, you could also have the relief call, which you could utilize by calling a certain number so that you can make your reservations. And we will also set up our stickers so that we will give out these stickers to these visitors so that we can check whether they have fever or not. And also we will have the wristband given to these people after their temperatures have been screened. And going forward, these guidelines will also be promoted to the public through our campaigns, and we will also intensify on-site monitoring. And this morning, at 10 a.m. During the Education Ministry's briefing, we will also expand and the number of offline classes during the latter half of this year. And especially for the people of the senior high school citizens and the faculty members, we will be rolling out vaccines to them in full-fledged so that we can help them to return to a state of normalcy as soon as possible. And as of today midnight, we have had a total of 654 local infections and 23 imported cases. And yesterday, we also had 2 more fatalities being reported. I extend my deepest condolences to the deceased and the members of the bereaved families. And yesterday, nationwide, more than 590,000 people have received their COVID-19 vaccines, and this means that about 12.4% of the total population have already been receiving their vaccines, totaling to 6.3 million. And yesterday as well, people have been booking for the Janssen vaccine rollouts as well, and we see the signs of returning to pre-pandemic routines through the rollout of vaccines. And yesterday at Gyeonggi-do Province, Gwangju City, at a nursing hospital, the residents there were able to meet with their loved ones first time in about 3 months. And also in Ansan City at a nursing hospital, we also witnessed the images of a couple that have also been allowed to visit for the first time in a very long time. And we believe that these vaccinations are enabling people to meet up face to face, and the effects of the vaccination is being proven not only in Korea but also around the world. A shot of AstraZeneca vaccines could also help you prevent the infections by up to 90%. And according to our latest survey, we have seen the increased emergences of UK variants, and we believe that the AstraZeneca vaccines also has about 90% efficacy rate against this variant strain. And even if you are infected after being inoculated, we will also be able to see a major decrease in the severe symptoms as well as infections to your loved ones as well. And if you receive these shots, the recipients of the vaccinations could also get benefits and incentives, and you will be exempted from the mandatory 2-week quarantine if you also return even after return from overseas trips. And you will also have many discounts at public facilities entrance fees as well. And starting from the actually until tomorrow, we have currently the booking for the senior citizens. And if you have not booked your vaccine appointment, you would only be able to get your vaccines in October. So if you have not done so, please utilize our website or the call center or the local health communities to get your reservations done. And as of now, we have had about 74.9% of these people who have completed the booking process, and we will also exert our full efforts to return to a state of normalcy. Thank you very much.
That was the government briefing on the COVID-19 situation here in the country. South Korea reported 677 new COVID-19 cases on Wednesday. This brings the accumulated number of cases to 141,476. There have been 2 more deaths, raising the death toll to 1,965. We'll wrap up the coverage here. We'll be back at 12 p.m. Korea time for our midday news with Mark Broom. Bye for now.